guys, Rick Shaw here. It's the 3rd of June. This is our day. We're going to be taking our little man in for his test. Supposedly the results tomorrow. It's about 4:20. We're going to be getting on the road here. Everybody's still sleeping, but we're just waiting for our house sitter to get here. It's supposed to be at 6. And we had yesterday, didn't start out too bad, just a little wet, but then man, did we have one heck of a storm. So this storm that come through was really something. It had the wind blowing so hard through this house, knocked a bunch of stuff down outside. It was really something, and if you went outside in it for just a matter of a minute, you were just soaked. Rain was, it was Forrest Gump rain. It was coming from all directions. We went up to the market early, so we didn't get blasted too bad. But later on in the day, it was just dark time. I took a ride up to 7-Eleven to get some stuff. We were out of coffee and things like that. And just from the car into the 7-Eleven, I got soaked. And then when I went into 7-Eleven, it was blowing rain inside the door. They had rugs down to keep people from slipping. It's really something. A lot of things were blown over here. If you go down the end of our road where the trees were, all the grass is like halfway out into the road. Big pieces of tree are down all over the place. So it was a pretty damn good storm. One nice thing though, we didn't get any leaks that I've found. Not in the windows. And all the windows got wet on the 3 sides of the house that have windows. They got blasted with rain. It was coming from all directions. Usually when we were getting rain, this area out front here, because the covering just doesn't get rain, it got it. It blew all the way to the wall where the deep freezer is. The washing machine, it blew the cover off of that. We had to go out in the rain and cover that up and put some weight on it so it wouldn't blow away. Our stand that we had out there, we used in the last house for our cook stove. That thing got blown over, and it's heavy. It had all kinds of stuff on it. We had, there's a propane bottle down on the bottom. Guys, it was one heck of a storm. Needless to say, I didn't get to ride the brown bomber, so we kept it. I did let Wes know. He saw the video that we're gonna take it. It is a pretty cool, really cool bike. When I was out, I saw another one, and it was it was the same color and everything like this, different brand, a little bit different frames, but just looking at the welds, it was horrible. it was absolutely horrible. It was at the market, and it caught my eye because it was a red one, but it definitely wasn't this brand, because I just got out and took a quick look. The guy was still on it. He was real cool, big Filipino guy, and I just said, hey, do you mind if I look at that? And I was looking at the welds, and right off the bat, it was like bubble gum. It just wasn't good. And so this one looks like it's they paid a little bit more attention to detail, which is really good. Another thing too, guys, check out the Facebook page. The link is in my About section. Grandpa Vlogger put out a really good, it's a little bit long, but he put out a good thing from the governor of Cebu when she was up in Manila talking to the palace, I guess. And very interesting. I'm going to keep my thoughts on that down, but just let me tell you, it was very interesting. And if you can't find it there, just punch in Grandpa Vlogger on YouTube and pull up his latest video. It's eye-opening for sure. Something I've been saying a long time. So she brings up some really valid points. They did stop the flights that were supposed to go there. How many people got screwed on that one? And so that's how that's going to go. But We've got our trip planned. It's not raining now. I haven't even been outside to check the temperature for you guys, but we actually have all the windows closed in here, and it's nice. It feels like it's about 75 degrees in here. Let me just take a quick poke. I don't want any doors or windows open because them dang bugs. Somebody got on there, I think it was Santa Claus in the Philippines, says he's got them and that they're not termites. So I'm not sure. But, oh my goodness, it's really, really cool out here. Unbelievably cool. See, there's some dang little bugs. I don't know what they are, guys, but they're everywhere if you open up the door. Let's see what the temperature is here real quick. We'll take this inside because I can't see good out here. Just to let you know, I want to get like a barometer and stuff like that so we can let you know. All right, we're looking at 76, and it looks like 28 Celsius. So it's actually kind of cool out there. The temperature yesterday when we were out, we had to run up to the market and get some stuff, and the big market in Lipa. My wife's starting to find the different ones that give her the good deals, and we wanted to get some of that smoked fish, and we want to bring some back to our friends when we go to Carmona. And it felt good. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. Anybody coming to the Philippines, if you want to live in a cool place and you don't want to be in Tagaytay, it's unbelievable. This place is a lot cooler than anywhere I've been since I've been here, other than Tagaytay. That it actually gets very cold. I didn't like that place. But when we came back and the storm started to hit and the wind kicked up, man, did the temperature dropped. It was unbelievable how fast the temperature dropped. It had to drop a good 10, 12 degrees in a matter of minutes when this storm came in, because we got out of the car and we were looking up at the sky saying, man, it's coming. I mean, these clouds were just rolling in deep and dark. And by the time we got in the house, we started seeing the wind kicking up, and I was like, holy mackerel. And you didn't want to go out in it? No bike riding? The kids were really chomping at the bit to ride the bike. And I'm having a good time. I feel okay. No Charlie horses or anything like that. I haven't been pushing it. It's been a good while. You don't want to jump into any exercise program with both feet. You want to sort of gradually ease into it. But I feel okay. I'm not. My back's still a little bit sore. And I don't know if that helped it or hurt it or anything. But pedaling around with the kids, just the mental attitude for me just went through the roof, because just looking at the joy on their faces, it's just a blast. I mean, Maddie's riding little Mumu's bike now. We took the training wheels off because he's afraid of it. He got on it and he's trying to push it like his other bike, and he has good balance, but he put his feet up to pedal, and of course down he went. And so now he wants his scooter bike, or he's riding on the back of Dorothy's. And Dorothy, it's so funny. When I actually coasted from the house here, and when we got up to just the one little hill, I only had to pedal up about 40, 50 feet maybe. And then once I got up to the top, then I was able to coast all the way to the guard shack. And when we were coming back, of course, she has to pedal completely uphill. She didn't complain. She was getting down to where super slow, but she just kept at it, pulling her brother along. We got home, she goes, oh, he's heavy. But she didn't give up. She's really something. She's she is one determined kid. When she puts her mind to doing anything, that's something I noticed about her from the time she was a baby. She is determined. So I think if we get through all this baloney that's going on in this world, and the good Lord turns back the forces of evil, she's probably gonna be able to do whatever the heck she wants, because she just doesn't quit. It's in her. It's not anything that can be taught. This is something that's just in her. And I've been a watcher of children my whole life. Watched my nieces and nephews, and pretty much was able to call what kind of person they turn out to be from the time they were little. And it came true on all of them, just all of them. You could just see the ones that were going to be good, and you could see the ones that weren't. At least I can. I remember I was sitting there talking to my father one time. This is many years ago. And he said, he was a businessman, and he did pretty good for himself, that's for sure. And I was talking to him about raising all the kids, and, you know, I was freaked out when my son was born that, oh my goodness, now responsibility just hit, you know, like a 747 on my head crash. And, you know, I was asking him how he did it and all that. He says, well, I just did it. He says, I had to. And same as you. And then he said, but I would have done much better if I could have been, had the ability to see things like you. And of course I'm like, what? And he says, yeah. He says, a lot of the things, he says, I listen and watch everybody. And he says, a lot of the things you've said all through the years, they all came to pass. He said about people. And he says, your people skills, he said, if I would have had people skills like you, I would have been a millionaire very quickly. So that just shocked me. I never, you know, coming from the old man too, that just was really something. But I've always been able to, when I was running crews as electric too, I've always been able to pick the people who can do things, you know, and get her done. And I could pick the people that were trouble and get rid of them quickly, you know. So you don't fire anybody, you just send them back to the hall. And I had people that right off the bat, within the first few minutes, you know, troublemakers. You know, I remember one of the first big jobs I did out in California. There was a dude, and one of the things we had to do was make sure dudes had steel toes on. They had to be wearing cotton. If they didn't have any of this stuff, you sent them home, because OSHA was on that job every day. We had to make sure they weren't running extension cords like this. Everybody had to have battery stuff. I was expecting tools every morning, and this one dude come up, and he just stepped right on the front. I was neat and tidy. You know, I would shine my shoes every day. I didn't go around looking like, and he just ground his thing right into the toe of my steel-toed boot. And so I had everybody finished out, and I held him back, and I said, what the hell was that all about? I'm checking to see if you got steel toe. And you know something? It was, you're out of here, goodbye. And he threw this big fuss and all that stuff, because it was a prevailing wage job. And I said, no, get out of here. You just get out. You're not acceptable here on my job. And that was right off the bat. And you know something, that guy was nothing but trouble. I heard about it from other foremen and stuff. You just don't do stuff like that. Punk is what he was. But we got our big day. I'm hopefully everything goes good with Geronimo's test. Time will tell. You know, we'll see what the heck's going on with that. I hope everything works out. I hope it's a misdiagnosis for sure, because interstitial pneumonia is, you're a goner, basically. So I hope somebody was just stupid and made a mistake. And also, from what I've been reading and all that, that diagnosing it with just an X-ray is not to be done. You know, it shows you to look further. Many of the places and people I've talked to said they should have never put that down. Suspected, not that it was. So I'm hoping and praying to the good Lord that it's just some idiot made a mistake. But you gotta figure that happens here quite a bit. There's you know, so many things in this country that you know, I think a lot of the really good people they leave. You know, they go OFW. They go to other countries to make their money because the pay is so low. My biggest shocker was when I was in the hospital, and there was one nurse that was caring for me. This is when I had the amoeba, and she was caring for me, and just a real nice girl. She was a little bit older than the rest of them, and I actually asked for her to come in because they were doing blood checks on me, and then I had that IV thing in my hand, and I had trouble with it, and she redid it on the other hand, and you didn't even know she was really good at her job. And I was asking her when she was doing putting that IV thing in the other hand. I asked her, I said, "Are you like a supervisor or anything here?" You know, because she was a little older than the rest of them. And she's like, "No, I'm just a nurse, just like the rest of them." And I said, "Well, I hope they're paying you very well." And she said, "No, I get paid like the rest of them." And I asked her what she was making, and she said 8,000 pesos a month. And that girl was there long hours, very long hours. And it just shocked me. That's why when you go to malls and stuff, if you go to the SM department store, every section of the store's got, 20 associates there to help you. And sometimes it can be a little bit annoying, but it's because they don't pay them nothing. That's why there's so many. I mean, it's ridiculous. They just don't pay people. Faye's brother was working at McDonald's, and he had to work 7 to 8 hours a day. It depended on how much they needed him, but he said it wasn't over 8, and 6 or 7 days. And his pay was $5,000 a month working at the McDonald's. That's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Faye's going to go over there and see them guys. We don't know for sure if Mama's going to come back with us. Don't know yet. It'd be nice if she comes. We talked to our buddy Tropical Tim yesterday. My phone died. This phone, it doesn't work anymore unless it's on charge. Even when it's on charge, if I use it, it's done. The battery's pretty much done. I tried different cables. Somebody said it was probably the cable. No, it's the battery. If I take it off the charger, the battery will go from 100% down to 80% in a matter of 10 minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes. And if I plug it in and use it, it'll go down to zero and just die. The only way it charges right now is if it's turned off. The phone has to be turned off and charged. Now I just got it plugged in here right now, and I listened to that Grandpa Vlogger's video, and I answered a few people on the thing. So I was running about maybe 10 minutes, and I'm down to 72% from 100, and it's plugged in. And it does, when you plug this thing into the other phone, it's showing that it's charging. And I have a new cable, a new charger. The one that my wife uses works good, charges her phone up. So it's the battery shot. And it's 2.5, 3 years old now, this phone. And it was never really a good phone when I got it. I had and it's just not a good phone. I don't really like the Samsung. I do believe they deliberately put problems in the phone so that after they get so old that they start really screwing up, so that you just buy another one. You get frustrated and buy another one, like a fuse, you might call it. But I won't do Samsung again. I might do a Samsung, because my first Samsung phone that I got, it said Samsung, and I got it, I believe it was from Abinson's, and it was flawless. I was even saying, man, if anything goes wrong with this phone, I'm buying another one of these Samsungs. This is a great phone. It just works. It just works, no problems. Turned on quickly. This one, you turn it on, oh my goodness, you gotta wait. Just to boot this thing up, it takes forever. And that was from new. And I got to take things out, like the keyboard. It's a regular basis. I got to take the keyboard out and completely delete it out of my apps and reinstall it. Otherwise, it just shakes and does all this weird crap, and it's just a royal pain. There's so many times on this phone where it'll just drop a signal. Even here where I got really good signal, full bars, it'll drop a signal, and the only way to get it to work, it'll say you've run out of data, you've done this, you have to reload, and I've got nothing, so I have to reboot it. I have to reboot the phone, and then after I reboot it, everything's fine. I got all kinds of data, so that's something in the phone. So be careful, guys, with the Samsungs. I know a lot of people, Wes was over. These dang bugs are really going to drive me nuts. You've probably seen them flying. Yeah, I can't stand it. I left the door open for just a minute, and that's a bunch of them got in. And I don't want to turn the vacuum cleaner off. I want everyone to sleep till the last minute. We're just going to have a quick breakfast and probably eat something on the way. Look at all these guys already. Santa Claus in the Philippines said they're not termites, but I'm going to have to fire up the vacuum cleaner and suck these bastards up. I hate them. What's really cool about them, though, is if they hit the floor, if they wind up on the floor for any reason at all, within seconds the ants find them and kill them. They kill them. And I was also watching the lizards. The lizards go after them like crazy. If they see them, usually the lizards wait until something stops and then they attack. But I've seen these lizards where while they're still fluttering around them, lizards will attack. But then they eat them and spit the wings out. It's just really cool. But I'm going to go ahead and fire up this vacuum cleaner. This is just too ridiculous. I've got about 20 of them in here. These white lights, guys, if you live in an area that has these things, these white lights, bring them in. If you turn the lights out, the door open, they don't come. The yellow lights outside, they don't like. And last night we used up at the top of the, it's not a foyer, but in the top of the hallway, I put my last yellow lamp. I put in that one instead of a white one, and we kind of use it as a nightlight between the bedrooms. And if you have that thing on, no bugs are flying around that thing. But these son of a guns, they'll be gone soon. We had these same things in the other house, the very first house we lived in, and it would be so ridiculous. We had screen doors there, and I put screens up in that house. But you would go look outside, and there would be a swarm of them by our light. And I'm not talking hundreds, I'm talking thousands. If you went out there, you would just be covered in them in a matter of minutes. But all these guys got in real quick. You know, these little bastards. I'll get up close so you can see what anybody knows what that is. Somebody said termites, and I don't know. I'm thinking probably a termite. Also yesterday when I was outside, there's these humongous black ants that are very slow moving, and they've got not only do they have a big abdomen, but from the abdomen where it gets skinny to the front part of their body, it's like Schwarzenegger. It's really big and bulky too, kind of rectangular, but they move really slow. I'm thinking it's like a queen of something, and there was a bunch of them. I saw a bunch of them out there when we had the rain. I went and smashed a bunch of those. I have no idea, but it just seemed like it was a queen type ant maybe looking for a place. But they are swarming now. These things are swarming. So, but I'm gonna let you go, and we're getting ready to get going. It's about 10 to 5. So this is Rick, the bug sucking, vacuum cleaning dude. Y'all take care and pray for each other. See you guys.